Hi, I'm Ashley from Soko Realty, and today I have got Bill and Diana, and we're just going to have a quick chat about what the market is doing. To give everyone an idea of how we work, Bill and I own Soko, and Bill's my brother-in-law, and Di and Bill are married, and Di owns Langport. So that's the situation for those that do not know.
Di's your older sister.
And Di's my older sister, yes, and very important. So the questions I've got to ask today, just to help everyone know what's going on in the market, is what is the market doing from a finance and real estate point of view? Di.
Okay, from a finance point of view, since COVID-19, things have slowed down with the lenders, and what they've done is actually taken a lot of their staff from the credit processing areas and put them into the area dealing with people that need to put their loans on the repayment pauses. And also, because of that, a lot of people that were potentially in the refinance market aren't refinancing, so because their loans are on hold. So what we're finding is this emergence of cashed up first home buyers coming into the market ready to buy with really great deposits that have had minimal effect on their incomes because of COVID-19, and they're ready to buy.
Excellent. Bill?
During April we weren't able to do any home opens, so it was only showing properties by appointment. And during this time, a lot of owners decided to take their properties off the market and lie low for a while. A lot of them put their properties into the rental market that's going strong. With the ones that stayed on the market, because we weren't able to do a lot of marketing, things have been slow, but in the last couple of weeks where we can do home opens, we've found that the numbers have jumped up by quite a lot, but that is from low numbers. And this seems to be across Perth as well. A lot of my colleagues that I'm talking to are saying that they're starting to see a lot more interest, a lot more inquiries. And even though the stock levels are very low, there seems to be a few more properties coming on to the market. And that probably fits in well with the increase in buyer activity as well. The future's looking a lot better for the property market, which has had quite a few weeks of where it's been slow. But yeah, it's picking up now quite nicely.
So what type of people are selling at the moment?
Well, at the moment, it's the people that are selling are only the people that have to sell, if they've got a very genuine reason.
And we call that the 3 Ds, don't we? Death, divorce.
Well, that's the saying: death, divorce, and
desperate.
Death. So desperate. There's 4 Ds. So there's a bit of that going on, but also there's still the upsizes and downsizes. I've just had a property in South Perth that I had on the market. Then COVID came in, and because they've got good tenants in there, they've decided to take the property off the market today and keep the property rented until better times. First home buyer activity is quite strong across Perth. We don't seem to see that a lot in South Perth Como, because with the older apartments, a lot of the first home buyers are opting to go for the newer properties, or they're buying off the plan because they want the newer buildings with the new gymnasiums and pools, etc. So that's had an effect on the older strata properties in the area, and that's been going on for some years.
And so then, Di, would you find that the first home buyers that are getting loans, is that like consistent with what Bill was saying? Are they buying in those areas or not?
Yeah, the first home buyers that we're working with at the moment are buying brand new properties. Yeah. There's quite a lot of development that's taken place in Perth over the last 6 months, and so the properties are ready to go. So what a lot of people don't realise is with the first homeowners grant, if a property has never been lived in and is brand new, then the buyers can be eligible for the $10,000 new home part of the first homeowners grant, as well as also not paying stamp duty. So we're seeing some of our first home buyers buy new properties to gain the $10,000 grant. We're also seeing first home buyers that are quite cashed up. Rather than going for those units or strata title properties, they're looking at other places and spending a little bit more money. So they're not worrying so much about, those ones are not so much worried about whether they have to pay stamp duty or not. They're looking for like a nice block of land with an old character home on it in the areas like Big Park, Belmont, Carlisle, where they can renovate it and do it up and make it a family home for the next 5 to 10 years.
And that's quite interesting, like, because if you speak to, like, one person, or if you read the, listen to the media, and the media says, you know, there's loads of first-home buyers out, and then, for example, Bill, you go out and speak to, you know, a client, and then they're like, well, I heard that there's loads of first-home buyers, so why can't I sell my apartment in South Perth? Then that's sort of why it's important to actually listen to people that are very local, locally specialised in the area, and finance, etc., and not listening to the media all the time, because you can see that big difference, you know, with regards to our area and why it's not applicable for first-home buyers, etc. So that's all good. So that answered those questions. I had a more of a curious question for Di, and that was, is it easy to get finance, or are banks making it a bit harder for people?
That's a good question. If it is harder to get finance than what has been in the past, there's a number of reasons for that. The banks have really tightened up on their processes. They're scrutinising all the documents that come in. They're scrutinising your living expenses against your bank statements. They're scrutinising your pay slips. They're looking for HEX debt. They're looking for car allowances. In your transaction statements, they're looking for undisclosed debts. With positive credit reporting as well now, don't know if many people have got a copy of their credit files, but with positive credit reporting now, what happens is all the loans and types of credit, like credit cards and home loans and personal loans that you have, most of them now appear on your credit file, along with whether you have made your repayments or not. So what the banks are doing is they're marrying up what's on your credit file, and you might have an RAC personal loan cut for a car, and then what they're doing is they're looking for that loan on your transaction statement. So that there's a lot of scrutiny with the lenders out there. The other thing is that a lot of the lenders with COVID-19 have lowered how much they will lend to you, especially overseas borrowers and self-employed people, and also those that have a lot of income and commission, a lot of overtime and commission in their income, so they're really tightened up on that. So it's really good to talk to a broker who knows what all the different policies are with the different lenders, and who's accepting commission and who's accepting overtime, and how much of those incomes they are accepting before going down the road of putting an application for financing.
Perfect. And final question, what are we forecasting for the rest of 2020?
Get the crystal ball out.
Well, there's a lot of talk within state politics where there's going to be some change to stamp duty. I think ultimately that's just going to be a benefit to seniors and potentially migration from the East Coast to WA, or people buying to regional areas. But there's a lot of talk about that. There's also a lot of talk about how after the JobKeeper allowance, are there going to be a lot of people putting their properties on the market because of that stopping. But I think really that because Perth had so much of a downturn over so many years as opposed to the East Coast, that once the cafes and restaurants and activity comes back to Perth, that we will pick up where we left off at the beginning of the year, where activity was increasing in a great rate.
What about finance?
I think for finance, we'll continue to see more and more first-home buyers come into the market. I think we'll see less refinances, and I think we'll also see investors slowly moving out of the market as well.
And then from a property management point of view, I think we're heading into a normal winter market now, so I don't think we're going to see any drastic changes because of COVID and what's happened. So I think that now we're going to have our usual winter market, which slows down from the leasing side of things, and I think then in October, November, we'll start seeing the rents going up a little bit as required, normally just as we do for the summer months anyway. Being in South Perth, we probably will be affected with our normal busy student season, so which is like December, January, February, so I think that will change for us next year, depending on travel, but otherwise I think it all looks promising, and we're still getting multiple applications on rental properties and all of that too, so nothing too drastic from that point of view. So that was all today. So that's just really just us stressing it's really important. Don't just listen to the media with regards to what the market's doing and what finance is doing. Always speak to the experts. If you are in Perth and you want to speak further with Diana from Loanport, connect with her, or if you're looking for any real estate advice, give Bill or I a call on 9367 8877.